Hello, once again I'm Cosmic, and today I'm giving the early access examination treatment to a little indie game called Polybridge. Now, Polybridge is essentially a bridge building simulator that is all about physics-based puzzles. The game is being developed by indie studio Dry Cactus, whom themselves are based in New Zealand. The studio have previously developed a string of mobile titles. Interestingly enough, Polybridge seems to be a more fleshed out iteration of Dry Cactus's previous mobile title known as Paper Bridge. The game is planned to be in early access until September 2015, with the price staying the same. The game, while having plenty of content now, does also have a public roadmap to see what else is on the way, including more levels and vehicles. Current early access version does feature the majority of the campaign mode. In the campaign mode, you go through the various landscapes known as worlds. Each world has several levels that increase in difficulty and complexity as you go along. The game also has a sandbox mode where you can create your own levels, play them and export them online for others to play them, as well as playing other people's yourself. The premise behind each level in the game is basically very simple. Build a stable enough bridge over the water to allow a variety of vehicles to get across using whatever building resources you are giving and remaining under budget. It's a simple enough concept that in execution becomes a lot more difficult as you progress. Difficulty progression is key in a puzzle-based game, and Polybridge does it quite well. First is the various types of bridges you can build. Everything from hydraulic drawbridges to steel suspension bridges can be made. Levels will require you to be creative with the tools that you have at your disposal, and while some designs will work better than others, as long as the basic objective is met, bridges can be as creative and indeed as messy as you want them to be. You are limited each level by what resources you have available. Early levels you'll only have access to road and wood, and as you progress more options will become open. Each of the resources will cost a certain amount of money, and to succeed at a level you must build within the budget. This in itself forces you to get creative, as building a huge secure bridge is easy when you've got unlimited resources, but building something that is secure with a low budget becomes pretty tricky. Without the budget mechanic, the game would be an utter walkthrough. It is a very much needed mechanic of the game. Budgets are tight but fair. I have never been hampered in the game by a budget, only my lack of engineering ability. I really suck at building bridges. There is a variety of different vehicles and you will get at least one vehicle each level. The weight of the vehicles counts, and the physics of the game are fairly accurate, so while a car might be fine crossing one bridge, a school bus may not. In later levels, boats come into the equation, meaning that you'll have to design bridges that retract, lift, and basically do all sorts of things. The hydraulics and I never got along, and I frequently caused newsworthy bridge disasters. When running a simulation, the surest way to spot what the major design flaw of a bridge is to turn on the stress indicator, which lights all the components of the bridge green, and as the simulation runs, the parts of the bridge that are under great stress turn red, and then often snap, causing a horrible watery death. The speed of the simulation can be changed to go slower or faster depending on what you need as well, so it's very open to how to fix the problems that you come across. In terms of stability in the current build, the game is a little buggy. I have not encountered anything game breaking nor progress hampering. I did encounter some menu bugs where a menu would not close or clicking an option just simply wouldn't work. However, in terms of the actual simulation part of the game, it is a fairly stable build at this juncture. The art style of the game is fairly attractive and cute. However, there really isn't any part of it that particularly stands out. However, everything is nicely coloured and eye-pleasing. Something I really did like, however, was the graph UI that's placed over the screen in build mode. Not only does it provide a functional purpose in helping you accurately place objects and measuring distance, but the whole overlay has a really good aesthetic to it. The sound effects work well, but the lack of a good soundtrack is disappointing. I certainly would have liked a good soundtrack to listen to, while failing at building bridges basically. After all, listening to a killer soundtrack could have been riveting. There's plenty of content to get your teeth into in this early access build. Polybridge is a well built little game that would also be good for kids. It's the kind of game that kind of hints at what games could potentially do for education, in this case maths and engineering. One very gimmicky feature of the game is the ability to save replays of your epic bridge failures, or indeed wins, as shareable GIFs, so that you can send them direct to your social media. The game gives you the space to have plenty of creative flair, but it's fairly limited in terms of scope at this point. However, that being said, the developers are planning on expanding the game further with more content. If you're interested in this game, you'll definitely get your money's worth in early access, barring the few bugs of course, and since there will be no price difference between this version and the full launch version, it's certainly a case of picking it up when you want to pick it up. And that is my early access examination of Polybridge. Thank you so much for watching and listening. Do like, subscribe and leave a comment. Make sure to head over to Twitter and follow me at CosmicEngine99, and I will see you next time.